that. This time we'll begin the Texas News Conference. We're joined by head coach Karen Aston and student athletes Ariel Atkins, a sophomore guard, and LaShawn Higgs, a freshman guard. As we have been doing, we'll start with an opening statement from our head coach, followed by questions for the student athletes only. Following that, we'll dismiss the student athletes and then take questions for coach. Again, we don't have a mic to pass around, so please raise your hand and address the student athletes or coach in a respectful fashion, and then also state your name and affiliation. This time we'll start with coach.
Well, we must have had a pretty good win for all of you still to be awake right now and here. We appreciate you staying, and I just can't say enough about how proud I am of this basketball team. First and foremost, when you win 30 games, it takes a lot of work from a lot of people, and it takes day-to-day work. You just don't show up and win 30 games in a season unless you've got players that are committed to work on a daily basis, and you have coaches and staff members and support staff. So the first thing I would say is how proud I am of our players and everyone that has anything to do with our program, because this was a job that they put a lot of work into, and tonight was a team that you love to coach. I would say the two games that we played here were a team that you really love to coach because they played free and they played about as hard as they could play. And everything wasn't perfect all of the time, but when you ask your teams to give their best effort and to make sure that they get 50-50 balls and make sure that they're continuing to play every possession and they do that, then there's not a whole lot more you can say other than I'm really excited to be in the Sweet 16. I'm excited for our team and looking forward to moving on. I thought we beat a really good team tonight. I thought Missouri was really good. Looked at them on film extensively, saw them play live, and I was very, very impressed with them. And I thought our defense really took them out of the things that they do best. Really, really proud.
All right, thank you, Coach. At this time, questions for our student athletes. Start here.
Mark Reisman, Associate Press. With the way McCarty was defended tonight, did you feel like this was your opportunity or your responsibility to score more?
I don't necessarily think it was my responsibility. They didn't kind of guard me in the third quarter, and so my teammates were just basically screaming at me, "You're open, you need to shoot."
LaShawn, I thought you were one of the biggest sparks, especially in the first half. When you came off the bench to go into the game, what was your mindset that you're going to do what you did?
Well, as I was coming off the bench, I just had to remind myself that when your number's being called, always be ready. And my number was called, and I felt like I was ready. So I just went out there and played as hard as I can.
Do you think you can play like that every game?
I think with some work, some more work and improvement, yes, I can.
Ariel, just talk about what it means to be in Sweet 16, what the mindset is now going to Bridgeport.
It means a lot. I'm really excited to be here. I said it last time. I'm extremely excited to be in the tournament. It's something that we really have to work for, and our seniors deserve this. They worked extremely hard. They bust their butts every day, and they push us every day. So it just feels really good to get them back here.
We'll go on the end, and then we'll go right next to him.
Marco, what about you? Were y'all surprised at how effective y'all's press was against those bigger, taller guards?
I think we were kind of fast, so we were hoping to disrupt them a little bit. I don't think it caught us off guard. I think it was something that the coaches saw, and they implemented it so that we could do that.
On paper, it looked like their guards had a size advantage on you guys, but in the first half, you outscored them 22-0 in the paint. Was that you guys being more physical, and how would you kind of attribute that?
It was definitely important for us to be physical. We know that they were a very tough team. They're very physical. They are tall. So I think we really put a point on that to try to do that.
Was it a point of emphasis, though, to really attack the basket early in the game? You had a 22-0 edge in the first half.
Yes, I guess so.
Ariel, Rick Hand to the Austin American Statesman. How much pressure was on this basketball team tonight to win this game? Because you know what the disappointment level might have been like had you not reached the Sweet 16 after doing it last year.
We hadn't even talked about that or thought about that. I don't think there was any pressure because we really just wanted to come out here and give our best and give our all and come out with the opportunity to go to Bridgeport.
Is there a sense of, not unfinished business, but there's more to do?
Yes, we want to do more.
How confident are you guys right now? Because when we were in the locker room with you guys, you were talking about we expected to be here. So how confident are you guys moving forward?
I think we're right where we need to be. We have things that we need to work on. We're not extremely where we need to be, but I think we're confident in who we are right now.
LaShawn, Coach said something along. She couldn't see a team play harder tonight than you guys played. How much of an emphasis was it? No matter what you did, you left it out there.
Well, as a player like myself, I like to play really fast, and there's times that I have to calm down a little bit. But yeah, I tried to mainly focus on defense and try to not lose my man and like let them shoot threes, which is what they're really good at. And I just listen to what the point guard and the upperclassman has to say and just play as hard as I can and leave it all out there.
I know this is not the necessarily the overriding goal, but is it a bit of a mission accomplished to check off 2 wins at home in the NCAA tournament and move on to the Sweet 16? Do y'all feel like y'all accomplished that today?
I think it is. This was our seniors' last home game, period. So it was pretty special for us to send them out right.
Do y'all feel like that 17-3 run you had towards the end of the first quarter kind of broke their spirit, kind of took them out of the game? They didn't seem to be the same team after that.
I honestly don't think so. I think they're continuously were trying to punch at us. They're a really tough team, and they have good guards.
You guys talk about being
Oh, thank you. You started out, you actually were behind. You know, it was a rough start at 3-13, but LaShawn, how did you see, you did we're doing all the little things. You know, you're rebounding for one another, you're playing together. How did all of that energy sort of carry over and affect, give you something, give you a burst?
Throughout the year, as I'm improving as a freshman, we've always been told that it's the little things that matter. And from sitting on the bench, I realized that they were getting open threes, and in the timeout we discussed that that wasn't a game plan. So I just tried to just get over the screens and be there on the catch and not let her catch the ball. So
I know you guys keep talking about being excited, but Coach had to kind of get on you when she walked in and say, "Why are y'all so quiet?" So is it more of a business-like excitement or what?
I don't know. I said, I think we expect to be here. I think we've put in a lot of work. I think that our seniors, they've grown up so much to me, and I continuously talk about them because the place that they put this program in is just tremendous to me. So I think we've grown up.
How impressed were you guys with Sophie Cunningham, the number 3? How did she do anything that surprised you guys? How impressed were you?
From the scouting report, she was Sophie tonight. She's a good guard. She's strong, physical. She can shoot. She can drive. I think she did really well tonight.
Ariel, how's this team different from the team that lost to Baylor in the Big 12 tournament?
We grew up some more. I think our mature level, our ability to bounce back.
Any additional questions for our student athletes? All right, thank you, ladies. All right, at this time we'll take questions for our head coach, Karen Aston. We'll start right here on the end, and then we'll go right next to him.
Karen, Aaron Torres, Austin American Statesman. How big of a spark was LaShawn?
I would say that our entire bench was a spark. I thought that they really wasn't that our starters weren't playing good, but I did think that they energized our team, not just LaShawn. LaShawn made some baskets that, to the average fan, that's what everybody looks at, and they were huge plays. But I also think Breonna Taylor gave us a lift. I thought Kelsey Lang was good tonight. And basically everybody that came off the bench, Jordan Hosey. So I would say that was sort of where they couldn't catch their breath and I think a lot of people say that about our team when we're good, is that, and when the bench and everybody is energized, they feel like it's waves coming, and I think that was significant tonight, that everybody was so energized, not just 2 or 3 people.
Go right here, then on the end.
How important was it just to the evolution of the growth of the program to get past this weekend and to the next one?
I think it's very important. I mean, you don't want to underwrite that at all, that you want to take significant steps every year. That's sort of been the progression of this program, and people always talk about what is your vision, and each year we talk about what our vision is for the next year, and that was clearly one of our goals, was to get back to the Sweet 16 and have an opportunity to take another step, which we didn't get to take last year, which was to the Elite Eight, and we have that opportunity again. So, and again, I would echo Ariel in a sense that the seniors have kept us grounded with that, and they haven't allowed us to get down, and because they know, they understand the goal that's ahead. So they never allowed us to get overwhelmed when we had a failure, or even too high when we had success, and I would attribute all of that to the seniors, and it was wonderful to see them go out tonight like they did.
Karen, how do you explain 38 to 10 in the paint?
Well, I think it was off of transition. A lot of it was. So paint is a lot of different, you can describe that in a lot of different ways. So I think it was a combination of us getting out in transition off of some stops, penetration, lots of different things that, I mean, that was surprising actually when I saw that at half, when I saw that stat, because I actually made the comment that it should have been 30-0 because we missed some chippies that should have gone in, but a lot of those were transition offensive rebounds. I mean, you look at 21 offensive rebounds against a team that I think is really solid on the boards. That's an effort thing.
Karen, how's this team better prepared for the Sweet 16 this year than they were a year ago?
Well, the first thing I would say is that we get to sleep in our beds tonight, and last year we were flying across country from San Francisco and got in at 6 in the morning and got to study hall at 8. So that would be a significant difference, that we're getting to go to bed at a reasonable hour, I would think, tonight in our own beds. So that's the importance of the hosting and having that opportunity to be at home and be in front of your crowd like we were tonight. So now that I think they understand that. And then you just talk about understanding even just the difference in the path you take, the travel, they had never done that before. There's more responsibilities when you get to the Sweet 16, so all of those things we understand better.
How excited do you want them to be? I mean, they seem like they're more business-minded than...
I don't know. I almost think that they're acting like their coach. Instead of, I couldn't figure out why they weren't in there dancing or something, but they're not done. I mean, there's no question, and you always want them to celebrate the little things, but this team, and I would say it's mainly the seniors. I mean, they're not done, and so they don't have a reason to celebrate yet.
Karen, is it almost a sense of, up until now, this was the taking care of business part, getting back to where you were
Yes.
last year, and then the next step is a bigger one?
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think they definitely, and that's the thing I've appreciated about this group, because, again, we've had some failures. We were disappointed we didn't win the Big 12 tournament. Really disappointed, because we put ourselves in a position to try to get a championship, and we didn't do it. And I always like to see how you respond to those things, and the character of this team is extremely high, because they've just never let those things get in the way of what is your ultimate goal, which is what happens in the NCAA tournament.
What do you know about UCLA?
Well, we played them last year, so I'm familiar with them just in a sense of, the fact that it was early. It was that road trip we had out to Stanford and UCLA. So they're, I don't think they're the same team by any means. I think they ended up winning the WNIT last year, and more mature team, just like I'm sure we are, and should be a terrific game. Probably be a track meet. My guess is it might be a track meet.
We'll go here next and then Rick.
Sophie kind of seemed like she controls the Missouri offense, and she got hers tonight in a lot of ways. But was the goal kind of not let everybody else in Missouri beat you on the defensive end?
Well, I thought sort of the unsung heroes of the game were our 2 5 players because they manned the paint and they were able to help in a lot of ways, and I really think that was a something that again wouldn't be noticed on the stat sheet, but they were in a position to help a lot, and we knew we were going to get posted by their guards. We knew that we had some size problems, and the fact that our 5s were always roaming in a help position was really a significant issue for them, I think. Sophie is terrific. Wow. I was very impressed with her on film and in person in particular. But they're a good basketball team, and we sort of took them out of what their comfort was tonight.
Going to Bridgeport, obviously it's the,
Never been there before. I'm excited.
yeah, thoughts on going into the Lions Den, Huskies Den, or whatever they're going to call it.
Yeah, we got to play the Bruins, and that again, our team they'll be locked in. They understand that UCLA is really good, and one thing at a time.
As good as the seniors have been, and you've talked about them a lot, how gratifying is it that a freshman and a sophomore are like the 2 players that probably did the most damage to them?
You know, it's a good point, and I think it kind of reminded me a little bit of senior night. And I was worried tonight about that, but we reacted the same way that we did senior night. We had so much energy against TCU on senior night, and I was concerned about that game because it was I didn't know how the seniors would play, and that's a hard game to play when you know you're playing your last game. And this was truly their last game in this arena, and they have a lot of pride in being at Texas. So some of them, I mean, I thought they all played really well. I thought Selena played terrific. I thought Empress came in and hit a couple of big shots, and Amani, like I said, manned the paint. And Brady's kind of tweaked her foot a little bit more, so she was very limited tonight. In fact, I didn't think she was going to play at all, and I walked down there and said, "Can you go in?" She said, "Yeah, I can do it." So I was glad she got to go in, but that's a hard game to play in, and I thought that's a reflection of how our young players feel about them. And it was the same feeling that I had about senior night, which is that the young players provided the energy to get the win. And it's almost like little sister's got to take care of big sister here.
Coach, when Selena hits the first shot with the clock running down, do you think that kind of summed up the night for you guys?
It did. It absolutely did. She hit 2 of those. Looking at me like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "The clock's running out. Okay, just throw it up." I mean, a lot of things went right. I mean, I didn't think we shot the ball particularly well in the second half, but they did a great job of not worrying about that, and that's been our Achilles heel sometimes, is that when the ball isn't going in, everybody's offensive minded, I guess, and that's where we've grown so much. Chip and all you guys that watched us last year we tanked a little bit sometimes when the ball didn't go in for us, and we've done much better with that this year.
We have time for one more question.
What do you like most about your team heading into this next round?
Well, I do like defense. I like to watch what we watched tonight. And I think in the tournament, you're going to run into some teams that can really score the basketball, and in particular, and I think you even notice some upsets have happened because a team has had a player on their team that can really score a lot of points. So I think your defense, and in particular your team defense, has to be extremely good. And we have some answers for a lot of things, I think, defensively. And I love that because, again, the ball's just not always going to go in, and you have to be able to defend people, I think, in the tournament, especially guards. When you get late in the tournament, it's it's guard play is a pretty big deal.
All right, that's all the time we have. There's about
Thank y'all.
5 minutes left.